I guess today we're just going to be going through all the 2XKO character redesigns. Because what have we done now? We've done Legend of Runeterra, we've done Wilder, we even did Arcade. So now seems about the right time to go into 2XKO or Tuzco, as it's more commonly known by the actual intellectuals of this community. Unfortunately, the games are going a bit topsy-turvy lately, hasn't it? Had a few hiccups in development, but hopefully things will turn back around because I do want this game to succeed. It is a very, very fun game. I've had a lot of fun learning this game. Very enjoyable, and I guess now that Akali and Senna have been revealed, maybe high time we go through and take a look at all the designs that we have for the game, because I know some people feel very iffy about some of these designs. So yeah, let's take a look at them, I guess. Okay, Yasuo. He is very similar. Not a lot has changed about Yasuo compared to previous designs. It takes more after the Ruin King design though, with his shoulder pauldron there. It's much smaller than the wildly exaggerated ones that he has on PC. He's also got the sideburns. Ruin King had that as well. I think it's pretty much as staple Yasuo as you'd expect. And Yasuo has always been a pretty good design. I think though, I swear the knots around his belt are significantly larger than they've ever been. That is true. His hair has been shrunken down quite a lot. I assume because they don't want his hair to be part of his hitbox or seem like it's part of his hitbox. I think it does a pretty good job at representing who Yasuo is without deviating really much at all. So in that retrospect, Yasuo is like a solid A tier, I think. He does his job well. Warwick. So obviously very, very nice that it is the League Warwick and not the horrific abomination, affront to God and all of humanity that was the Arcade design. Though we did get an Arcade skin, which is ironically even further deviating from that design. It's pretty, you know, cut and dry, copy paste. That is Warwick from League with very minor differences. Tubes are a bit more symmetrical on the back there, but obviously the eyes. The eyes are the big thing that's different here. He doesn't just have the blank red eyes anymore. He has actual pupils, and he also has this kind of black marking underneath his eyes to really make the red pop. And I quite like that. I think that's actually really good. It allows him to have a very wide range of emotion in this game. Look how expressive he is. He's so expressive in this game. I love it. They did make his snoot a little thinner, so you can see what I mean, where the face, much bulkier in the face. Plain eyes, no pupils at all. You can see there's not as many tubes. There's the tube in the back here, but the 2XKO one has ones going all across him here. The one problem I will say, the cell shading pattern, I think, does not treat metal very well. All his metal components, the gold shading, it's a little flat. For Blitzcrank, it works because he's very rusted, but the super shiny metals, they don't pop very much. They're very dull too, right? It's a very low saturated color. With Warwick, that's not as big of a deal, I think, because he's supposed to be in Zaun, whatever. For me, though, this is the definitive Warwick to me. That one's an S tier for me. I'm a very big fan of it. And then we get his daughter. This one is very interesting, though, because I think up until Vi, most of the characters that we gotten from 2XKO design-wise were either very minimal changes or clear inspiration taken from the Arcane design and incorporated onto them, like Echo with his hair, right, or Jinx. But this Vi is completely different to the League one. It's more of an homage to the Arcane one than anything. And this is my definitive Vi. It's funny that she's still called the Piltover Enforcer when she only did that for, you know, a week at most.
You're fired!
But the Vi that actually has some meat on her bones, she has the scars, the tattoo is an obnoxiously large. The colors are very vibrant. Like the pink pops so much against the brown and the burgundy of her jacket with the blue on the gauntlets. They actually look like Hex Tech now, unlike the modern version. I'm mainly just comparing this to League Vi. I'm tired of pretending that League Vi isn't just the worst.
What is that?
No, man, no. What is that? Granted, Vi was designed before Hex Tech's aesthetic was really established, so it's hard to fault her for not being in line with that, but also it's so busy. The jacket, but with the cleavage window, the armor only on her torso, then the tutu, then shoulder pauldrons, the striped pants here, but then the bandages, the heel boots, steampunk up here, but then the giant tattoo here. What is happening? It's so messy. And I've always disliked this design. People say they love Vi. I couldn't grasp it. But then I had the Danny DeVito thing just I get it. This is Vi to me. To be Arcane saved Vi, just turn into a totally awesome character. And there's still the elements. You still get the steampunk, you still get the pink hair, but now it just feels like this is who Vi was supposed to be always, just actualized. I really, really like it. Doesn't have heel boots anymore. That didn't make any goddamn sense. That's an S tier. Love this version of Vi. Even if she completely destroys me every time I fight her.
Oh, alright!
A bit of a surprise one, because on the surface doesn't look like much change with old Teemo, but actually a lot's changed. His hat, first of all, it's a cap instead of the little bowl hat that he had before. He's got a little merit badge there, and most importantly of all, he's wearing a shirt. And you might not have noticed that before, but now you will never unsee it. Teemo been walking around shirtless this whole time, and it's kind of weird. Why you shirtless, Teemo? A little weird, man. But then you get this one. Look at him. Look at that sweet little angel boy. Now it's an actual scarf. He's got the shirt on. He has the merit badge. He has the little baseball cap. He looks like a scout. Granted, because they retconned the whole war criminal thing, though I don't think veterans are going around the battlefield shirtless. And obviously he's super expressive here too. I absolutely love this version of Teemo. Seems weird we've done it 3 in a row, but this is the definitive version of Teemo to me. If they try to pitch him as this adorable little, oh, I'm just a little swift scout. I gotta attain my merit badge and be a good Samaritan and help these people cross the street. He looks way more like that here than he does in League. Plus all the little extras that he has, right? I love the little helicopter leaf pad that he gets when he flies out. I just think they did a wonderful job with Teemo here. But he also, is it cheating to count the voice lines? It might be cheating to count that a little bit, but he's also kind of an asshole. I don't even know if he's doing it in a super mean-spirited way, but he is a jerk to most of the characters. He will tell them that they're just pieces of shit. Not as directly, but he will tell them that they're a loser, that he's the best.
Maybe you'd be more comfortable in Pup Scouts.
He still kept that troll, evil nature that he's always had, or at least the community has graciously bestowed upon him.
You are some form of demon, correct?
Heck no! Why does everyone keep calling me that?
The cap is iconic, so there's no reason that they would ever change the 2XK1 to be the definitive Teemo forever. But I think having the little baseball cap just makes him look that more innocent. You know, makes him look even more childish. And I like that. He's not really a kid, but he's a kid at heart. He just wants to be a good person. Sometimes, just be a good Boy Scout. That's the definitive Teemo to me. That is an easy S tier. I love this version of Teemo. I'd say actually, I like it even more than Warwick and Vi. I think Teemo might be my favorite so far we've gone through. Then we get Jinx Arcane. And this one was, I think, the biggest departure up till she'd been revealed at that point. I guess she had that kind of little sneak preview when Chixko was first showed off as Project L. And this is definitely not the League one. It's very much departing itself from the Harley Quinn inspiration. I say that and she brings out the Harley Quinn hammer. It feels like they're trying to do a marriage of the League version and the Arcane one. It's definitely leaning more into the League one, though. She has the crazy eyes. She acts a lot more like League Jinx here than she does the Arcane one. It's still really funny how different of a character those two are. Visually more Arcane, but smile and personality is definitely more leaning towards League. And it's Jinx. Jinx is just a great design in general. And I think removing herself more from the Harley Quinn outfit of having that checkerboard pattern, you can have lots of asymmetry in other ways. And they do here, right? They have asymmetry on both arms are different, one with the sleeve and the belts. One just has the tattoos, the legs, even one is a bandage, which I do like that she has a bandage there. Even her coil there is different on both sides. So it's the striped pants, so you have the little nod to Vi there, right? They both have the striped pants, just that Jinx has torn it up. Good visual metaphor. The problem is for me with this Jinx design is that there is a definitive Jinx design for me already. As much as it sucks because, you know, it's locked behind the gotcha system, but like that's Jinx to me. Like that is the ultimate Jinx. And especially having all the weapons merge into one, all the torn up clothes and the paint and the hoodie. It's hard to top this version of Jinx. And I guess they they wanted to make it a skin. They needed to have this as a purchasable option. Though I don't think this is as good as that one. Yeah, not having all the weapons combined. Bit of a missed opportunity. This is still a pretty solid Jinx design. And I hardly fault it for not going super outside the box because Jinx was already a great design. So I think Jinx... I forgot about Senna because she's not in the damn thing. I guess we go with Senna. So I will admit, I was not excited to hear Senna was coming to the game. I've had enough of zoners. We got Jinx, we got Teemo, we got Caitlyn Kiraman. There's so many ranged characters. I'm shocked that we don't have Samira or Set or Lee Sin, but I was immediately convinced. One, because how she looks here, but also that she clubs you in the face with the gun and has a where she turns into a Shadow Wraith form using some of Thresh's powers. Badass, dude. The Wraith form as well. Super sick. And her design, not a lot changed. The hair is a big change. She doesn't have the dreads anymore, and she doesn't have the exposed tummy anymore. She actually has a full suit. I like that personally. Are her boots different? Yeah, her boots are way bigger. Holy moly, her boots are huge. And her cloak is a lot more expansive, right? It goes over her shoulder here, goes all the way down. And the gun is smaller. Look how massive the gun is here. And then you look at the gun here. It's still big, but not nearly as chunky. And then we get the Wraith form as well. Looks super cool, man. I really like the effects they did with Senna here. And then she goes from a gun mode to a brawler, kind of using some of the Shadow Isles, some of the Thresh's power. The hair looks amazing when she's in this mode too. She really is Danny Phantom now, isn't she? She actually goes ghost proper now.
I'm going ghost!
I do very much like this version of Senna. Yeah, I like this outfit a lot more. She feels more professional here, which makes more sense for her character because she's very much about her job. She takes being a sentinel very seriously. And it's not a problem if characters show skin, it just needs to make sense for the character. I quite like this one. Did she always have heels? They just transplanted Vi's heels to Senna. I don't think you needed heels, Senna. That's a bit other design trope. They always give the characters heels when it's wildly impractical. I like Senna way more with the full suit and the big cool looking cloak, and I like the big boots. I think she looks really good here. I'll give her like the top of A, I think. Ilawi. All right, pop quiz. What did they change? Boy, they actually did change quite a bit. And I'll just like cycle between the two so you can see it. Boom. There's Legal Owie. Tusco Alawi. Legal Owie. Tusco. They actually did change quite a lot. The belt, the tassel, the hair, the gauntlets, the boots. Quite a lot changed. And you know what? It's kind of funny. It doesn't feel like anything changed. You look at this Alawi, like, oh yeah, that's Alawi. She looks the same. Then you actually compare the models. Just, oh, actually, they changed a lot. But a lot changed for the better, I think. I really like the hair too on this one. I think the hair on 2XKO is allowed to be that much more exaggerated, really look like a whole bunch of tentacles. It's Alawi. Alawi's awesome. And this is just amazing that it subtly changes pretty much everything, but in such a minor way that it doesn't detract from who Alawi is. I think that's worthy of an S tier. Echo, little man, and again, the dreads. Doesn't have the mohawk. I like Echo in both forms, though. I'm not opposed to either. And this one, again, it's like Jinx. You know, it's a bit of a marriage of the two designs from Arcane and League mixed into one. So your model's a little old now, Echo. Ooh, look a bit rusty there, friend. I think it's probably closer to the Arcane one. Why is he purple? Good question. There's characters that look worse for sure. His proportions are a little weird. Look at the proportions of Echo here. That's just a cool guy. This guy, he's a little squished. He's a little thin. You gotta eat something, Echo. Man, the Z-Drive looked boring as hell in the original. Yeah, this is definitely more of the Arcane design for the Z-Drive. It doesn't have the little powder monkeys in it, though. I know that's like a little tiny, minute detail most people are never gonna even notice, but that was such a fun thing that they had in the Arcane version. I feel like I don't have a lot to say about Echo because it is mostly just similar to the Arcane version. And thankfully we did get the Arcane design. And he has the mask. And you have the option to even take off the mask, so you get both. League could never. Echo is still an awesome design. So I can't fault it for much of anything other than just, yeah, that's Echo. And probably is my favorite interpretation of him, so I feel like this list is getting very top-heavy. Dare I say the designs of this game kind of slap. I think for the most part, the characters in this game, it's the best versions of these characters that exist. Anyway, so to contradict my statement, Darius looks a little funky in this game. Something about him is off to me. I think it might be that the axe is so small. Not that it's a small axe, I guess, but his axe is normally gigantic, and they sized it down tremendously. They gave him the fade, which is a little odd, because this guy's in his 50s. And I think the cape is a lot bigger than normal. They age him down a bit here. It feels like they did. Though to be fair, I don't think that the League model has really done much to really personify his age. I miss the gray streaks. I do like giving him some scars on his face, though. That's nice. I feel kind of in the middle. That's a decent Darius. He's got a scar on his armor. That's pretty good. I would say his skins in this game, I don't know what their obsession is with giving him whack-ass hair. This is what I mean when I was saying he has whack-ass hair. Look at this.
What the hell?
Darius, I don't know if that really fits you, man. He also weirdly doesn't look as bulky. He's still incredibly bulky, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't look like the living tank that he does in League. It's still fine. Darius isn't exactly an astounding character I feel anyway. So I think it's offensive. It's a B. You look fine, Darius. Caitlyn Karaman. So ever closer steer towards the arcane version. Why is Kane 2x KO? Arcane bias. That is the most likely and probable answer. I personally could have picked 100 other characters before Caitlyn, and I hate fighting her, so I can't say I'm pleased about her inclusion. You notice they deviated away from the purple though. She's fully blue now, which has been a pattern where the ASU made her less vibrantly purple, but now she's all blue to match the enforcers. And they made her hair purple, which is very interesting. They color swapped her. Hair is blue, outfit purple, now outfit blue, hair purple. Very interesting change. That's more pre-ASU Caitlyn colors, which is a nice inclusion. She has the brown hair with the purple outfit and the very bright golds. Thankfully, the outfit is not the same as how she was before. I mean, I like Caitlyn as a design. I feel like I'm pulling a jinx on this one where there is a definitive Caitlyn design to me. Commander Caitlyn looks sick as hell. I really like the Commander Caitlyn. And I like the League one too. It's mainly just a reinterpretation of the League design. She still has all the random belts all over her for no reason. And I guess having her blue ties her closer to the enforcers, and you get that color contrast, or I guess the similarity between her and Vi now, right? With the gauntlets and her clothes here. So it's a decent looking Caitlyn. I don't think it's the best Caitlyn we've ever had, but she looks good here. Yeah, I'll give her a high B. I like all three of these more than Caitlyn. Brom. Another example, very similar to Alawi, where pop quiz, what did they change? And you don't really notice it at first, but then you realize actually quite a lot changed. His shoulder sash is completely different now. His belt is completely different. His gauntlets completely different. His boots. Basically, his whole outfit got redesigned. There you go. Look at that design. And then bam. Look at that. Completely different belt, completely different gauntlets, boots, everything. They changed everything. He is less blue. Yes. I think the removal of the blue hurts it a bit. He's a bit too gray. I do really like what they changed with the sash though. This feels like the fur was slapped on there for decoration. Whereas the sash here, that feels like, that's an animal hide. Makes more sense. To me, this is the definitive Braum. If they added a little more blue, it'd be like top S tier, I think. It's just an amazing Braum. I will say what is S tier, if we were counting skins, El Tigre Braum absolutely destroys the original. There's also Braum Lionheart. Look at that guy. And look at that guy. They did Braum's skins very well in this game. Massive glove. And I know we're not counting skins, so it doesn't count. But base design, I still think they did a fantastic job. Like Alawi, it doesn't feel like they changed anything, but they changed a lot, but still is the same character you know and love. And it's changes for the better. Minus the blue. I think the blue is missing a bit here, so I can't rank it top. I'd say like Alawi, like these guys up here. I might even, because I don't feel like these guys are in the same boat as these ones. That feels more appropriate. These guys just feel on another level compared to these two. These two are just great versions of these characters. Like the best versions, but they didn't have to change a lot. These ones made quite a bit more substantial changes. Maybe Warwick goes down here. Speaking of substantial changes, Crank, the Blitzcrank. Yeah. It is time to crank it. Blitz looks amazing. I love how Blitz looks in this game.
Oh no.
Holy moly, man. Big thing you'll notice, look how round they are. Look at that beautiful round boy. Very spherical. Also removed all the spikes that they originally had on their shoulders and on their toes. They look huggable almost. They're leaning way more into that whole Iron Giant aspect of them. Also, hands. Still gigantic hands, but not as comically large as they were in League. Because I think what really saves this design more than anything is the proportions. Friend-shaped. Will kill your friends. You see what I mean? Spikes here, spikes down here, titanically enormous arms that make up the majority of the entire silhouette of the character. Round-ish, but it's just so scrunched over that Blitz's head is just seeping into the body. It's so scrunched up. And then you look wonderful. Longer legs, stand tall, head clearly distinct among the rest of the body, but very tiny head because You know, Blitz maybe has a small brain, maybe is learning, maybe is a computer, but they got a big heart, or at least a big component in the middle of their chest that kind of resembles a heart. I love this version of Blitz. I already thought Wilder did a good job. This kind of just took what Wilder was doing and made it even better. Oh yeah, and they did, speaking of Wilder, yeah, they made their own version of Boom Boom Blitz based on Wilder's interpretation. Oh yeah, I'd say that's about the same. That looks, yep, about the same level of quality. Is it perfect? Yeah, the robot has a black eye, which admittedly is kind of funny. And I have a nostalgic soft spot for this skin. Kind of a so bad it's good type deal, but it does not compare to the new Boom Boom Blitzcrank and just the new Blitzcrank in general. I think they did a fantastic job. The big criticism I'd have with new Blitzcrank has nothing to do with the design, so it doesn't really impact this ranking at all, but the voice. It's too Baymax.
You should change your settings to win.
It's not robot-y enough. Not even close. And I think that can be fixed with just some filters. It needs that heavy distortion robotic filter the old Blitz does, and it'll be fine. If they said they were going to fix it, I don't know if they ever will. I don't know if they're going to have the manpower to do that now. Hopefully. Ari, last one. Ari's very much Ruin King. At least closer to Ruin King than the others. Ari looks creepily happy. We're just not used to seeing her so happy. Ari's weird, really. Ari has a different design in everything. Wild Rift still has not gotten the Ari ASU. Am I correct in that? They're still stuck with the old one. There she is. Immediate distinction. League One, way more decorated. Look at the patterning, the gold and the purple. All the little extra accessories. She looks a lot fancier here than the 2XKO one. The 2XKO one, again, I think it's leaning more into the Ruin King, where she was a bit more feral. Yeah, you know, looking at it again, yeah, Ruin King kind of clears. I'm sorry. This is still definitive Ari for me. This is still the best Ari. You still get that element of fan service, but the claws, the way her clothes, like she looks more feral. The way her hair is, you get that aspect of, oh yeah, she's kind of a bit of a wild animal in a way. A bit scared of her own power. They always make her look so clean and everything. I think 2XKO does that too. It's actually, I'd argue it's more of a middle ground between the Ruin King one and the LOR version, which again, it's its own version. The costume's slightly different. This one a lot. It's kind of got post-Ruin King. She came to her own. That's actually a good way to look at it, yeah. Just finally come to terms with who she is. Because obviously, if they're going to take Ari, they're not going to go in the direction Ruin King did. Ruin King, they went in that direction because they could. It's not the Ari that most people know, or that Riot wants, really. They want their sexy Kitsune character, which I will say, absolutely flabbergasted this game has launched. One, without KDA Ari in the game already, and two, that pool party Ari that they had in the Alpha Lab is not in the open. It's not at launch. I feel like they're allergic to money or something, because that's just bizarre to me. But Ari, it's good. It's not my favorite Ari. It's not my least favorite Ari. Kind of right in the middle. I'd say I feel about the same as Darius. I say it's a good B tier. Oh, I almost forgot. We have the last one, Akali. All right, this one has been causing a bit of stirred up a drama because they changed her a lot. Very, very different design. I want to say right off the bat that base Akali, design-wise, is peak. Akali is so cool. And I think that's the main reason why this one feels so odd, because it's a huge departure. And unlike Braum and Alawi, where they also got everything about their outfit changed, with Akali, it is immediately noticeable what's changed. Hair's different, mask different, torso different, armbands different, belt different, pants different, shoes different, backpack different, physique different. Everything is different. Literally everything. I like the red. I agree there's too much of it. I think the red is a good idea because it plays into her character. Akali is very much using the methods of the enemy against them. She is employing Noxian strategies and being the aggressor, whereas usually Ionia is very pacifist, right? So giving her those red accents, that's a clever way to tie that whole philosophy into her character design. She's not like the other Ionians. The problem is, can you tell me what about this entire concept is so different? There's one big thing that throws it all off for me. Akali's entire design is built around asymmetry. She is incredibly asymmetrical. There's almost no part of her design that is the same across both halves of her body. And that's because she's a rule breaker. She doesn't play by Shen's rules anymore, where Shen is very symmetrical. But then you look here, symmetrical. 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 They made her whole design more cohesive in a sense that it's the same on both sides. And that kind of misses the mark. She's a rebel. She's supposed to be going against the norms of her people. And again, giving her the fade, like with Darius, is just weird. The hair, it's closer to Yasuo, but her hair was so iconic. This very curved swirl in her hair, that is the iconic Akali hair. That's why they have it consistent across every skin. So, one, it removed all the asymmetry from her design. It feels too modern, too much of a departure from the original without a substantial reason for doing so. It's just odd. I will say, she does look sick as hell, though, in movement. Like, her gameplay looks crazy. Finally, a not gun character. I can't believe it. So I'm happy she's here. I think that's about it, though, yeah? Like, that's all the characters from Tusco. Oh, wait. Yeah. I'm sorry, Akali. I think you are kind of a betrayal of the character that everyone already loved. There's Akali down there by her lonesome in D tier, all alone, with a whole tier gap between her. Because I think for the most part, the 2XKO designs are pretty damn solid. In most cases, I think they are the definitive versions of these characters. And in some cases, just, you know, even if they're not inherently better than the base, they're on equal terms with it. I want to put Senna up in S tier. I'm thinking about it more. I quite like this version of Senna, the Wraith form as well. Maybe again it comes from bias because I was initially opposed to Senna being in this game because again, too many gun characters at this point. But an 8-second clip won me over instantly and I gotta give her credit for that. She looks awesome here. Do I think Teemo or Blitz is the best one though? Oh, that's tough. I really like both of them. I'll give it to Blitz because Teemo was already a decently designed character. Blitz needed the help and they did a wonderful job modernizing them. I'll give the winning spot to Blitz and not biased because I'm currently playing a lot of Blitz at the moment.